Hello, I'm Melissa Robinson, and this is Henry Talks with the incomparable Thomas White. Hey, Thomas.
Hello, Henry County. It's nice to see you again.
Thomas, tell us about our special guest today.
I would love to, Captain Hobgood with animal control, but Captain, I have a bit of a control emergency. It's not necessarily an animal, but I have a blonde hair, blue eye, wearing blue subject that is maybe deranged. Who do I need to call?
We don't deal with exotic animals. You have to call one life specialist.
Good answer. I'm going to take that.
I'll keep it in mind. I've already talked to him about a hawk we had to go visit him. I'm sure he'll do the same.
I think we're going too far now. It's not a lot of things, but I guess. Good answer. Very good. So quick at his feet. Catch on that one. So he wasn't talking about me, of course. But
No, definitely not. I would never call you deranged, Melissa. You're wonderful.
Anyway, so
Charming.
well, yeah, it's true. It's true. So we were,
Humble. Okay, I'm done.
I feel like you're talking about yourself.
I'm great. What else do you want to
Okay, so Captain Hobgood, tell us a little bit as animal. You head up the animal control division, and you guys. I'll tell you, I'm gonna speak to this all the time. You do an amazing job. Your staff does an amazing job.
Thank you.
And first, what I want to talk about, so people know about it, is you have an event coming up. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So on April 27th, the Nash
You don't have
Farms.
to live again.
Okay. April 27th, the Nash Farms, from 11 to 3, we're having a adoption event. And in conjunction with that, we have Woodland, who is actually Woodland Animal Hospital, is actually coming out, and they're doing a rabies vaccination clinic. We're also giving microchips as well. So we invite the public to come out. Right now we're planning on about 12 to 14 dogs that we'll have there. But we can always go get ones from the shelter and bring them out to the location. The animals that we bring with us are already spayed and or neutered, so they are ready to go. So we'll be able to adopt them straight from the event. And we'll have lots of vendors out there as well, some food vendors as well as some vendors that are pet related, have pet related items and things like that.
So this was a big event last year. I remember. I think. Did Woodland run out of the vaccine? Did they get? I think it was close. Yeah, I mean, people were really coming in droves, so that was great. With some beautiful puppies out there and dogs out there.
I think it's really important not taking that you go there, you do the neutering and spaying, because that's a big population control issue.
Yes,
As Bob Barker always told us.
that's right. That's right. Rest in peace.
What? No, it really took a turn. I didn't. So thank you for reminding us of Bob Barker and yes.
It's my pleasure.
You know, I'm a dog person.
Yes,
I
I'm
know.
a dog.
They
I was about to get to that. What?
smell.
They smell beautiful like little dogs.
I can wash it one day, 2 days later, it's going to smell again.
Well, first we call it it, and that's a problem. So
No, that's what it should be referred to.
Thomas is more of a cat person.
Cats are beautiful, wonderful creatures.
Okay.
They can take you and leave you. So
We have those too.
Yeah. So
They're
pickles.
blessings from heaven. I mean, ancient Egyptians actually worship them, so that should tell you something. Just saying.
So
Granted, they were worshipped as things that would help you pass through the dead, but that's not the point.
okay. So anyway, with the adoption event for people who can't make that. Wait, I just. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, so the adoption event for people who can't make it, they can always come to the shelter Monday through Friday to check out any dogs or cats or animals that you have up for adoption. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And normally, I mean, you're pretty full right now, right? And
Yes.
As many shelters are.
Yeah, the last 12 months, 8 months of the last 12, we have been either at capacity or above capacity.
Wow.
Yeah. And your shelter, this shelter that you're in now, you've been using for, I mean.
It's been 2005 because when the building was completed.
Wow, almost 20 years. Wow.
Yes.
All right. So we were talking a little bit, and we've talked about this on the podcast before about the upcoming SPLOST 6. I know they're still trying to come up with a list of projects, and you have advocated for a new shelter.
A new shelter.
Tell us about that.
Hopefully we can get a new shelter that allows us the ability to grow. The location we're at now, we're kind of landlocked. We're between a state highway and some other government buildings. Plus we've got a big ravine in the back, so we don't have any room to grow. So we also don't have any pasture land. We have been able to borrow the property that's behind DOT, and we placed a barn there, so that gives us a little bit more room for livestock. But we've had up to like 3 dairy cows before, so they require lots of room. And that's a fee.
That's bizarre. That's just so. Are you like? No, I have to stop.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say dairy cow?
Yes, 3 dairy cows.
From bovine?
Yes, yes.
Milk? From
Like
the
you see
udder?
on the Chick-fil-A commercials. Yes.
Okay. It's okay. It's cool. Cool.
You grew up on a farm, didn't you? You grew up on a
I
farm.
did, but I never expected to see a dairy cow in Henry County. Now, where I grew up, we once had the one and only traffic jam we ever had was because cows got out of the pasture on Main Road, next to the Main Road.
Was it called Main Street?
It was called Main Street. Wow. Wow. That's so cool.
Doesn't take a lot.
We wound up converting the cow patch to push. Clearly, the cows were too dangerous for downtown, so we had to relocate them.
Well, it's not so that you brought up the livestock and having them in barn. I know you do bring in more than just dogs and cats and puppies. Yeah.
Right.
So how does that come about? Does somebody call and say there's a cow on the road, or are they?
Surprisingly, that's about as simple as it gets.
Okay.
We've had a fully intact male ram that was located in Fairview that was just rolling down the side of the road.
I'm sorry.
So
Ram.
Yes, the horns, the
Where would that come from?
walking down the road in Fairview.
someone trying to grow livestock in a very residential
I
area.
would say one of our densest residential areas, and
Yes.
Wow. So
all right.
do you find rescues for these animals?
We do.
Yeah, because that's such a.
We have a lot of contacts. David Biles, who's my field services supervisor, she's a member of the Cattlemen's Association. So she has lots of resources that she can tap that will help us to find homes for most of the livestock.
Perfect.
have you ever had a porcupine?
Not since I've been there. There has been one at the shelter before, but that was before my tenure.
I would say it was something that checked.
Sorry to do.
I was going to go on a whole series. You know what? I'm done.
So what is the oddest or the most surprising animal you've taken in and out of control?
I don't know if I can take this.
As long as you've been there.
We had a gourmet pigeon that was brought in.
What does
and
that
I
mean?
said,
Wait.
I said, what does that mean? Does that mean gourmet like eating or because I'm learning this job the 2 years I've been there. I've learned a lot. Gourmet pigeons are collectors' pigeons. They're pigeons that people collect that have unique markings that are of a unique breed.
My father-in-law actually selected.
Oh, okay. It was located on an eviction where the person had actually left their pet. So we had to collect the animal and everything. And somebody actually that collects birds came and collected the bird. So
Wow.
to a better.
So it's funny we talk about pigeons because when we're down in the South, people talk about pigeons like they're regular birds. But I'm from the Northeast and we don't talk about pigeons that way. They're a whole different thing. So I
Like
just,
flying rats up there.
something, yeah, they're just not as revered as they are down here. So.
Even downtown Atlanta, they're not very revered.
But there are cultures that eat pigeons, so we respect them about any right.
Right. That's what I was curious about when I called it a gourmet pigeon. Ask a question.
Did you save it from the plate, maybe? I don't know. So that is so interesting.
I don't know if pigeons were worshipped with ancient Egyptians, but I'll look into it. No, hawks were, so.
And if they were, you'll make it up as you go. So.
Yes, I will.
So okay, so as you're looking to kind of get this new shelter, hopefully, you want to expand services so you can continue to provide services to all of our cities because you do all the cities and the county. It's not
Yeah,
just
that's
county.
that's something that's unique for animal care and control. We service not only the unincorporated areas of the county, but we also do all the cities. So we're the only animal control department in the entire county.
Right.
So, and I only have 8 animal control officers to service the entire county plus the 4 cities.
And you're constantly at work. I mean, just the other night, it was 2 weeks ago, I had an older friend of mine, he's in his 80s, texting me, didn't know what to do because there was a dog stuck in the culvert drain.
Oh, God.
It was up under his driveway, and his dog was alerting them to the fact that it was there and they couldn't get it out. I sent you a text, hey, what do I do? Within seconds, you would text me back, call this number, this is who you get in touch with. Wow. And 30 minutes later, they were getting the dog out. So you're constantly on duty, constantly working. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Because you do not only the adoption part of it, but you answer calls for vicious dogs, for loose dogs, so there's a lot of things going on with animal control.
Correct.
You also have the microchipping events sometimes, the rabies events. and you're getting, or you've already gotten a veterinarian on staff, or is that coming?
It's coming. We have the position. We've gotten the position documented.
www.henrytalks.com.
There you go. And we're actively recruiting at all the veterinarian schools that are close to us, getting it out to their vet schools. UGA and Auburn are the top two that are closest to us.
I consider taking up veterinary science education.
So hopefully with the vet will actually provide the services that we need to take better care of the animals, which will allow us to get more of them adopted out.
Sure.
And it will actually help the welfare of the animals as well as the people, because the veterinarian can then teach my kennel staff how to better care for the animals and how to medicate them and that sort of thing.
And then, of course, you just see with a vet on site and for that care. I mean, not just the
Right. Not having to go to the local clinics that we have because they're overrun with their own private owners, and then having to burden the shelter animals as well. So, and our in-house veterinarian will also care for the police department's canine unit as well.
Oh, great. Okay.
Any preventative care that they need or wellness exams and things like that, our vet will be able to handle that.
Well, that's probably very cost effective for the county as well, like to have them take care of both. So that's great.
Correct. And we're trying to utilize the space that we have. The building was built in 2005, so it wasn't built to house a clinic or a veterinarian. So we're remodeling as much of the space as we can to create a vet office as well as a surgical suite. We're turning our visitation room into a surgical suite, and then turning a secondary lobby into our two visitation rooms.
Okay. Have you been down to the shelter?
I have been down to the shelter. In fact, before we adopted the cat that we have now, we looked at the shelter
Okay.
there. So that was, we almost got a little small kitten from there, but unfortunately it was adopted before we could come back and get it.
Well, I'm sure they have plenty right now for you to go.
We are moving into a larger house in May.
Really?
To convince my wife to get 3. I'm saying that now so that Henry County, you can hold her accountable. She's gonna kill me.
So tell me, what if you could tell people, you get questions probably all the time about what you do there. If you could tell, what do you want somebody to know about animal care and control? What do you want people to know about adopting a pet versus shopping? Like, you see a lot of things every day over and over. So what do you want people to know?
Well, the type of dogs that you're going to find that you get from the pet peddlers that we call them, that are found at like PetSmart, not within the store, but out in the parking lots and things like that.
Yeah, that's an issue.
They're not licensed. They're not oversaw. They don't have any oversight from the Department of Ag like we do.
Right.
You're not guaranteed anything when you purchase those animals, and a lot of times those animals are part of a pet farm or
Puppy mill
or something like that, where they are breeding the animals until they can't be bred anymore. It's terrible. And then a lot of those animals end up getting adopted. I mean, don't get adopted, and they end up getting dumped.
Right.
And then they end up at our shelter.
That's so terrible.
And a lot of times we get lots of calls in every week from people that have bought from these street vendors. And then 2-3 weeks after they purchase the animal, it has all these health problems.
Right. It's inbreeding as well. They're just breeding cows.
They're overbred, and the bully breeds are the biggest problem now because some people are breeding these animals and they have these horrible birth defects, and the ones that have the birth defects, they're dumping them, and then they end up at the shelter and they've got all these horrible, malformations and things like that, and some of them are in pain constantly.
Yeah,
so,
that's bad.
but we do a good job of rehabbing the animals that come to us. One of the animals that we have now that's a livestock animal is a mammoth donkey. And we've had her since September. And
Sorry, what?
mammoth donkey.
What does that mean? Is that like a giant donkey?
It's a donkey that at some point was recently bred with a horse. So she's as
You're not invited
tall.
back.
Wait,
You're not invited back.
say this again. Recently bred with a horse, and then what?
Yeah, so she's as tall as a horse. She's not short and small like a donkey.
So she's a product of an affair between a donkey and a horse.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, all right, wow.
So
And you made fun of me. Taking that cat.
So,
That's bizarre.
but she came to us.
Got Dr. Doolittle here.
That would help my job a lot if I could communicate. So, but she was severely emaciated. She had a recurring hoof problem with abscesses, and we've cured the abscesses through constant doctoring and constant care. And she's of a healthy weight now. She's still finicky, but she's much happier now, and she's much healthier. So
That's appreciated. That's great. I love how Captain Hobgood brings us this great story, but then kind of ends it with a little bit of where they've been with it. So, but yes, very true. You have
100%. I'm so glad that you came on this show, so I know never ever to invite animal control.
No, you're always invited back. Always.
Oh, when you come back, we got to discuss which animals you're disclosing. You got to prepare me for this next time, because I try to give off an image on this podcast. And it's blown today. It's blown, but we're still going to do it for one reason. It's 2 sentences. Henry cares.
Henry committed. You're supposed to get.
absolutely.
We'll get it right one day.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be on.
Absolutely.
We'll have you again. The adoption event is what day again?
April 27th, from 11 to 3.
At Nash Farm Park.
Correct.
And if somebody's looking for a pet, they can come to the shelter. They can go online. I know you have something online they can look at.
24petconnect.com
Great.
is the website you can go to, and you can filter our shelter out. And if you've lost a pet, you can find your pet there. If it's at the shelter, and if you're looking for a pet, it will show you the entire inventory that we have at the shelter.
Okay. So remember, don't shop, adopt, and pets are forever. They're your forever friend for your family. So thank you.
Remember to neuter or spay your pets.
Thanks, Bob Barker. Okay, so thanks. So thank you for being here, Thomas. As always, a pleasure. And
It was wonderful.
thanks for listening to Henry Talks. We will see you next time.